Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. What's up, everybody? Good morning and happy Tuesday. DK Show coming to you from the TDS Sports Talk studios. Appreciate you making us a part of your start. If you're up and at it, tuning in on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Available to stream up online at sportstalk1051.com. Got your app, download that, take it on the go. Smart devices like your Alexa devices and the video stream on YouTube also up and rolling here this morning. What do we have on our game plan for us on this? Well, it is a Grind My Gears Tuesday brought to you by Toyson Ford. So let's hear it. What's grinding your gears, peeps? You can start to get it off your chest. Hit us up, 715-830-1912. Also, it is a I'm not saying, but I'm just saying Tuesday. So give me your sports takes, your sports opinions, where you'd be like, I'm not saying this, but I'm just saying this. All right, best ones I'll read up on the air. So turn in your homework assignments, peeps. Let's hear you. I know you got some Grind My Gears in that. So what else do we have on the docket here this morning? We had the Home Run Derby last night for Major League Baseball. So if you want to chime in on that, go for it. As Jordan Walker with the St. Louis Cardinals picking up the victory. But what do you think of it? I enjoyed it. Watched it a little bit with Hutz and that. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was solid. Except for, I will say this, the pre-game to it, the prelude to it was a little kind of over the top, I thought. No offense to like Will Ferrell and all that, but it just I don't feel like that worked necessarily. But regardless, the competition itself, yeah, I enjoyed it. But we got the All-Star game tonight then. American League versus the National League. The only Brewer, if you're kind of paying attention, that will be in action. B. Contreras, Mizorowski is there, but won't be playing. So we'll see. But What was your thoughts from last night from the Home Run Derby? Staying with some baseball chats, we'll talk a little Brewers. We know that they're not going to be back in action until Friday when they welcome the Marlins. But now that we are into this All-Star break and kind of looking towards the stretch run here, I want to take a little bit of an informal poll from all of you and get your thoughts on who do you think, player-wise for the Brewers, a player that has to have a surge, maybe a major surge in this, I don't know if I want to call it second half, but this, let's just say like stretch run or the final part of this regular season. Who is that player for the Brewers? If you had to name just one, okay, just one, who is that guy that has to have that surge? Well, I guess it's about 60% of the way through the season, so we're a little bit past the halfway mark. So is it Yelly? Is it maybe another starting pitcher on this roster? Is it Sal Frelick? Is it Joey Ortiz? Is it Cooper Pratt? Is it Bryce Terang? Is it Andrew Vaughn? Just throwing out a bunch of names, but who, in your opinion, do you feel like needs to just have that major surge? I have a sense a lot of us, and I'm putting myself in this category, but a lot of us are going to pick the same player. And tell me why. Give me just a quick reason why you think this player has to be the Brewers player that has that surge to get this team, through the rest of this regular season and into the postseason, and maybe riding into the postseason with some high momentum. Okay? So we'll chat a little green and gold here, too, as we get set. We are just a couple weeks away from training camp, preseason. So we'll continue our countdown to the top storylines and that. But I will say this, a lot of chats about Jordan Love and quarterbacks after this ESPN top 10, where Jordan Love was not listed in the top 10 of quarterbacks right now. And a lot of debate about it. Now, this is executives, coaches, and scouts ranking this top 10. And Jeremy Fowler from ESPN, who was a part of this too, said this was how the voting went. The quarterback voting broken into tiers. Okay, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, they were in tier 1. Stafford was kind of in the next tier by himself. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson in that next tier. Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Drake May, Jared Goff in the next tier. And then Caleb Williams to get that 10 spot. Sam Darnold, Jaden Daniels, then Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield. Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, then Bo Nix, Daniel Jones, C.J. Stroud. So that has sparked a lot of debate, which I believe whenever you talk about quarterbacks and you rank quarterbacks in the NFL, it always sparks a friendly debate. Sometimes people take it a little too far, but there's never a consensus, I don't think. Maybe outside the top 2, 3, 4, whatever the case may be, or top 5. Maybe it's a little bit here, a little shuffled around. But once you expand it to a top 10, it's going to naturally cause a debate. And I think for this case, the fact that Caleb Williams was selected higher than Jordan Love, well, here we go. Bears, Packers, we got, a little bit more of a banter back and forth. So maybe that is your Grind My Gears Tuesday, or maybe that is your I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, but you easily can make it. So I do want to talk a little bit Jordan Love. I do want to throw out, because there is still a big portion of Packers fans out there that are either on the fence or are not Jordan Love believers. And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit, because there's a lot of national people too. And this is actually from the last week or so, because Jordan Love, don't use this poll as a gauge, but it is out there. The top 100 players is voted on by the players, because Lamar Jackson just got named at, was it 69, 67, whatever it was. But Jordan Love was 72, to which Micah Parsons says, no, much higher than that. And that kind of sparked a conversation for a lot of national peeps out there saying, is Jordan Love the most underrated, most overlooked quarterback in the league? I have some thoughts. I'm going to go a little bit of a different direction in this, but I have some thoughts on maybe why Jordan Love isn't perceived to be maybe top 10 or so. So if you want, send me your top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Okay? Send it on over. I'd be curious. Do you think he should be top 10? Do you think he's right there, like top 15? Where are you at? I want to throw, and I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and I don't know. There's a different thought that came through my mind that I gotta kind of speak it out and then maybe get your thoughts on it. So we got that coming up on the docket here too. We're going to catch up with RJ Cardinal. And catch up with RJ Cardinal coming up in the 8 o'clock hour as well, and whatever else you have on your mind. All right, send them on over. You got a topic, got a segment. I know it's kind of the quiet time in the sports world with Major League Baseball, with their All-Star break and that, but so send them on over. Hey, WNBA action last night too. We had the Lynx picking up a 104-100 victory over Phoenix. But if you haven't been paying attention to Minnesota over there, their rookie, Olivia Miles, I mean, she made history again last night. First WNBA player to reach 400 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists in 22 games. So Yeah, that's quite the impressive feat there. The Express did drop last night's game against La Crosse. Very close loss, 6-5. But they'll be back at Carson Park tonight to take on the Minnesota Mud Puppies. So we got lots to get to here this morning, so let's just jump right into it, shall we? Oh, and I do want to talk a little, I do want to throw a little Bucks chat in here too because, well, there's a couple of rumors out there, but if you've been following along with Summer League, there's a player. Okay, there's a player, there's a rookie right now who has been lighting it up. Off to a really, and I know it's Summer League, okay? It's kind of like it is preseason football. But Braden Burries, the 10th overall pick, he's been flashing, man. He's been impressive so far. So we might hit that up coming up a little bit later on too. So, but let's get to it. We got to take a break right now, and then we'll get to the leadoff to kick off things here on this Tuesday morning. We'll be right back after these quick words. Summer road trips create some great memories, but you know what? You hate to think about it, but it does happen sometimes. Accidents do happen. If a fender bender puts a dent into your plans, trust Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire to get your vehicle looking like new again. Their experienced team provides quality collision repair and attention to detail that helps restore your vehicle and your peace of mind. When life bumps into your vehicle, you know you can count on the fine folks at Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire, our official Backyard Dreams partners. So if you need, you can check them out online at SuperiorAutoBodyInc.com. That's INC. All right, SuperiorAutoBodyInc.com. Or you can check them out at 301 North Farwell Street right here in Eau Claire. And make sure you follow them on Facebook too. So, all right. We might as well jump into it because we've already got a few people chiming in on this, and I kind of figured this was going to be the thing that would spark a little bit of a conversation and kind of the quiet time and a little bit of the sports world here. So, but everybody's talking about this Jordan Love quarterback rankings, all that. Okay, ranked 72 on the Players NFL Top 100, outside the top 10. Although, in all transparency, ESPN, the rankings, and Jeremy Fowler said 10 through 13 were really close in the voting. So you've got everybody making cases one way or the other. All right. So just as a refresher here, if you're wondering what ESPN's list was for the top 10 quarterbacks, it was number 1, Josh Allen, number 2, Patrick Mahomes, number 3, Matthew Stafford, number 4, Joe Burrow, number 5, Lamar Jackson, number 6, Dak Prescott, 7, Justin Herbert, 8, Drake May, 9, Jared Goff, 10, Caleb Williams. Honorable mentions, Sam Darnold, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, along with Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, Trevor Lawrence, and Jalen Hurts. Couple of, Coach and NFC Scout had this to say about one Jordan Love. A veteran NFL offensive coach said, quote, control of the offense, protection, and route adjustments. He has really grown in those areas. NFC Scout said, I don't think he gets enough credit for playing the position consistently well, and he has got the athletic traits to match it. Now, you've got a lot of people out there throwing out stats, numbers, rankings to support the narrative that Jordan Love should be top 10. You could say Pro Football Focus grades, top 5. Overall grade. He was number 3 in the Pro Football Focus passing grade. Second in total EPA, expected points against. Second in EPA per play. First in EPA versus man coverage. Awesome, right? I mean, you could look at a lot of numbers. A lot of statistics. The thing that I think that hurts Jordan there's a few things that I think affect Jordan in this. Those numbers I just threw out there, okay? The EPAs, the Pro Football Focus. Let's be real here. I don't think a lot of fans, a lot of people will look at EPA. Or they don't know what EPA is. They don't know that it's expected points added. It's an advanced football statistic that measures the net point value gained or lost on a single play based on the game's current situation. That is too much math. That is too much math for me. We just want to see yards, touchdowns, interceptions, completion percentage, quarterback rating. The numbers that we have grown up to love, grown to know, the easy numbers. Okay? That's what all we want to care about. And is Jordan top 5 in a lot of those categories? No. That's part of it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I think that's a part of it where he doesn't maybe get enough credit or attention. The other part is, I've seen some people sit there and say first round exits in the postseason. Okay, maybe a little bit, but it doesn't explain Dak Prescott being number 6. It doesn't explain Justin Herbert being higher than Jordan Love. So that is not the main reason. Because if it is, then explain Dak and Justin Herbert. Well, they've been out there long? No. Caleb Williams is in there too. For me, what I really think affects Jordan isn't necessarily his play. I just think the bar is so incredibly high, and I think a lot of people maybe inadvertently just not Green Bay again. Because it's not supposed to happen. The bar is so high now, I feel, to play quarterback in the city of Green Bay for the team, the Packers, because of the last 2 franchise quarterbacks. When Favre was there, and then, with his run, 3 MVPs, 2 Super Bowl appearances, winning one of them. They draft Aaron Rodgers. Okay, he's not going to be as good as Favre. Arguably, maybe even better than Favre. Some people won't go with that, but some will. Okay, very rarely does the replacement of a Hall of Fame, one of the best of all time, where there is actually a debate that, okay, maybe this guy's better. Okay, cool. 49ers, they went from Montana young. Montana still perceived better. We've had some teams, all right, they found another quarterback. But no way is there going to be a team that has found a quarterback for the 3rd straight time that could be a top 10, that could be a really good quarterback. That's not what's supposed to happen. So the bar is so incredibly high that I think, and I don't think it's fair to Love, but I think that is a huge part of this, is that people don't want to believe that Love could actually be a good quarterback, and that Green Bay might have done it for a 3rd straight time. That is not supposed to happen in the National Football League. No team is supposed. I'm not saying Jordan Love's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to throw that out there. That'd be awesome. Okay, I'd love it. Let's give it a few years yet. All right, we got a while yet. We got to do some other things here before we even get to that, and we're not close to that. But I do feel like there is a narrative, or there is a thought, there's no way did Green Bay find. And I think just the level, that bar has been so high. Everybody talks about the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. That's the primo job. If you're the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, have that star on your helmet. Yes, there does come pressure. There is pressure in becoming the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. There's no question about it. But I would argue that there's a different type of pressure now in being the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, because you are replacing legend after legend, and the bar continues to get higher. It was high replacing Favre. Arguably, you could say it rose after Rodgers because of his play. And it was completely different styles of play. We've talked about this at length. You go from Favre, a gunslinger, right? I mean, he made some stupid stuff, stupid decisions on the field. But gosh darn it, when he made a great play, it was so fun. It was thrilling. It kept you on the edge of your seat. And then in comes Rodgers, who's more careful with the football. But, man, that guy could sling a pigskin. Cerebral, tight windows, racket. I mean, it was elevated. But the other part, too, with those two quarterbacks, what happened? They only won one Super Bowl each. The standards are high. So I think part of it, too, is like, okay, we want the next quarterback. If Green Bay does have that next quarterback, that next really good quarterback or that great quarterback, it's got to be 2 Super Bowls. So I just think everything is like pushing against Love because no, Green Bay didn't find another one. No, that can't be the case. That's impossible. It's impossible. I do think he is underrated. I do think he gets overlooked quite a bit from both Packers fans and from the national media. Is he top 5 in my opinion? I don't think I would put him in top 5. Would I put him in the top 10 if we're using the players that have been listed? Yeah. I think he's in that category. I would say he's top 10. I think another thing that hurts him is his first couple seasons as a starter, he's missed games. And that's something, again, too, that we really haven't been accustomed to in Green Bay a lot. Aaron Rodgers did a couple times. There were stretches, the collarbone, right, where he missed games. But we went from Favre, who never missed a game. And then you had Rodgers, who was hurt with collarbone stuff. And you still had Packers fans say, well, Favre would play with that. No. I mean, the bar was set so incredibly high. It's like when Rodgers the first time, or it was the second time, there were people saying Favre would play through that. No. But that's where the bar was set. And now, in his first couple of years, Love has missed some time. And it's like, see? He's fragile. And I get it. But the thing is, with the first round exits and such, too, it's like, I can't fault Love for the Bears one, and it doesn't explain why Dak and Justin Herbert would be placed higher than them. That can't be the main narrative. Does it factor into it a little bit? Sure, maybe a little. So while Love is up there in advanced statistics, the EPAs and the Pro Football Focus grades, I think a lot of it is, okay, but that's numbers. Those are stats that a lot of people don't really pay attention to. He's not top 5 in passing yards last year. In fact, he was 13th. Is it because he missed some games? Yeah, sure. He played 15. Patrick Mahomes, he played 14. He was still a little bit higher. Actually by a couple hundred yards. Touchdown passes, he wasn't top 10. So it's those are the stats. Those are the numbers that a lot of people will pay attention to. Because that's the ones that we kind of grew up with, right? Those are the ones we know. Kind of around top 10 in completion percentage, if we look at regular starters. 66.3. The highest was Drake May at 72. If you look at quarterback ratings, Jordan, okay, 6th. But not the sexy stats, right? Not the, oh, man, dude threw for 4,500 yards and 40 touchdown passes. But the EPA, yeah, those are great numbers. Those are great advanced statistics. But I think a lot of people don't care about those because, let's face it, it's too complicating at times to figure out. It's like, explain it to me. I'm in the same boat, okay? I know what it is, but at the same time, I don't want to have to figure out math too much. I suck at math. I hate math. Unless it's a salary cap. But when it comes to stats, come on. Is it a lot of box score scouting when it comes to these rankings? Bingo. That, I would argue, is a yes. All right, got to take a quick break. Back with plenty more, though. Hit me up. Shoot me a text, 715-830-192, or join in on the Section 105 chats. We'll be back after these few words. If it's too hot to cook, don't blame you with this heat going on. So where's a quick, delicious meal you can go to? Hey, go visit our good friends at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. They've got daily deals throughout the rest of this week, including today. How about this? Walking taco, baby. Oh, yeah, we're talking about those walking tacos for $6.99. Just $6.99 for a walking taco. Tomorrow, you've got the smoked rib meal. Thursday, of course, is steak night. Friday, they even got a salmon dinner meal, too. So you can check out the daily deal menu by going to the Facebook page for Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. And while you're there, you can check out their latest flyers, too. We got 39-cent Hy-Vee yogurts. $3 Jack's frozen pizza with the purchase of 3. We're talking a $1.88 pound of red seedless grapes. $3.99 each for Doritos with the purchase of 3. $4.99 for a 40-pack of water bottles, which is really good for this, obviously for this week, especially too if you got baseball games going on for the little kids, including $5.99 each Gatorade 8-pack bottles with the purchase of 2. So make sure those kiddos are going to be properly hydrated this week if they're out there for Little League or softball or T-ball or whatever outdoor adventures they may have or you may have. So check it all out at Hy-Vee. Again, look at their Facebook page, Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. They'll have the flyer up there and some of the deals. And as always, don't forget you can save some money at the gas pump too by shopping at Hy-Vee. We're going to talk some Brewers coming up in the next hour, but let's continue our Packers training camp countdown since we were just talking a little bit about Jordan Love and so we're just a couple weeks away from the opening of training camp. So we've been looking at some of the main storylines, some of the top stories, some of the things that we're going to be watching for. And all that fun stuff. We've talked about running backs. We've talked about the offensive line. We've talked about linebackers. We've talked about corners in that. So we haven't gotten to edge rushers. So let's do some edge rushers. Let's talk a little bit about the edge rushers. We know Micah Parsons. That's the guy. But we're definitely going to be watching. And, when is he going to be able to return to the field? It's probably not going to be in training camp and probably not going to be in preseason. So that means all eyes are going to be on one Lucas Van Ness. Now you're going to be looking at Lucas Van Ness and you're going to be looking at the depth behind Lucas Van Ness. Will they get production out of other guys like maybe rookie Danny Dennis Sutton? What about Barron Sorrell? Colin Oliver, both guys entering their second years. Brenton Cox Jr., who I think is better suited to play an edge rusher in a 3-4 style of defense. But that outside of looking behind Micah Parsons from an edge rusher, there's definitely, I think, a lot of people going to be paying attention to this group. And maybe not so much for Lucas Van Ness. I think we're going to be paying attention to Lucas Van Ness more so when it comes to the regular season. That's when we want to see number 90 produce and be effective and be a really good player, right? A dominating player, worthy of that first-round draft pick status. The other side to Micah Parsons. I mean, Micah Parsons, when he does come back from injury, we're going to expect great things. Well, he needs a tag team partner. He needs that other guy. And right now, Green Bay's rolling with Lucas Van Ness. So we're going to be focusing more on him, I think, when it comes to the regular season. But when it comes to training camp and when it comes to these preseason games, all eyes are going to be on who's that second group. We saw a little bit about from Colin Oliver towards the end of last year. I'm intrigued with this kid. I mean, they call him Mini Micah. So I'm expecting to see a lot of him in training camp in these preseason games. I'm expecting to see a lot more from Barron Sorrell this year. Are those going to be the guys? What about Brenton Cox Jr.? He's been with the team for a couple of years and such. Undrafted. He's athletic. He's talented. Is he going to make the jump this year? And then Danny Dennis Sutton, the rookie out of Penn State. This is definitely going to be a group to really watch when we open up training camp, when we really get to these preseason games. I think, in training camp, a lot of people are going to focus on the one-on-one drills. Who wins those 1v1s where it's a defensive player, defensive, down a defensive lineman or an edge rusher going up against an offensive lineman. A lot of the writers, a lot of the reporters, a lot of the fans, they love that one. And who's going to be really kind of getting into that backfield? Who's going to be wrecking the line of scrimmage? Because I think, we can look at depth charts right now when it comes to these edge rushers. Take away Micah, take away Lucas Van Ness. I think it's an open competition. I think it's open where nothing is set in stone. That, all right, if Barron Sorrell and Colin Oliver are clearly the next best two guys, all right, they're up there. What about Danny Dennis Sutton? Could he get on the field as a rookie? I think it's wide open competition behind Parsons and Van Ness. And the thing is, too, we got to remember part of this is whoever's like the third or fourth guy, there is a chance. I mean, a realistic chance, a very good chance. It is going to happen. They're going to be the starter. Who is going to be the other starter next to Lucas Van Ness to open up the season? That's what we're going to be looking for in these training camps and in these preseason games, with Micah missing the first few weeks of the season. Who's going to be that other starter? Is it going to be one of the second-year guys of Sorrell or Colin Oliver? Is it going to be Brenton Cox Jr., who is kind of been a backup for the last couple of years? Can it be the rookie? So you're kind of looking at this as we open up camp here in just a little bit, is who's going to be that other one? Maybe, we'll see some versatility. We've already talked about the inside linebackers with like an Edgerrin Cooper. I think Edgerrin Cooper is going to be a guy that's going to be asked to maybe get after that quarterback a little bit more and kind of play that role. So definitely a lot to watch with this group. And I think, when we go back to the offseason and the draft, this was a position group that I think a lot of fans were hoping that maybe Green Bay prioritized a little bit higher in the draft, maybe prioritized a little bit more in the offseason to get some depth, especially with the Micah Parsons injury. So there's going to be a lot on the shoulders for Lucas Van Ness to be the main pass rusher in the first few weeks of the season. And it's putting a lot of pressure on the second-year guys, a rookie, and an undrafted kid that's been with the ball club for the last couple of years. Brenton Cox Jr. is already entering his fourth season. Hasn't had a lot of playing time. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities. He has flashed in preseason and training camp for the last couple of years. But will he finally get that shot for extended playing time this year? A lot's going to depend on what he does this summer, early fall. Definitely a group that's going to be under the microscope, especially when it comes to training camp in these preseason games. Who's going to flash? Who's going to take advantage of their opportunity? Because it's going to be there. All right, we got to take our final break for the first hour. We'll be right back after these quick words. Summer is here, and that means it's time to hit the road into something you love. At Toyson Ford, you will find a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles ready for every adventure. Are you looking for some power? How about comfort and reliability? Hey, they've got it all, backed by a team that is committed to making your car buying experience easy and stress-free. So whether it's a weekend getaway or your daily drive, make sure that you are riding in style this summer. Toyson Ford in Chippewa Falls, where your next journey begins. Don't forget, it is a Toyson Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. So what's grinding your gears? All right, what is grinding your gears? Let me know. Text it on over. Hit us up on the Section 105 chats. Get it off your chest. It is also a I'm not saying, but I'm just saying Tuesday. So fill in the blanks. I'm not saying blank, but I'm just saying blank. Let's keep it sports related. Okay? Keep it sports related. So send those on over. Maybe it's related to the home run derby. I'm not saying it was the best home run derby, but I'm just saying it surpassed my expectations, or I was pleasantly entertained. I think that's where I'm at. I'm not on the old Barry Bonds best home run derby thing, but I thought it was better than I thought. So that could be one. Did you like it? All-Star game is tonight. American League, National League, first pitch, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. We also got on the docket here this afternoon, World Cup, France taking on Spain. So, but it does hurt. The All-Star game does take a little bit of a hit for me with, a lot of the stars not playing in it injury-wise or whatever it may be. So it does take a little bit of a hit for me, but it's still pretty entertaining and such. I feel like, at least. So I'll be tuning in after we have our baseball game tonight. But all right, coming up next hour, we'll talk some Brewers. Give me the Brewers player that you think has to have a surge for this second half. Maybe it's the guy that needs to have a lot of improvement or start to play a whole lot better. Who is that one? You got to pick one. Who's that Brewers player that needs a major surge for this team? I got a feeling a lot of us are going to be picking the same player. That's just my gut feeling, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be a little bit surprised, but I got a feeling that we're going to be kind of thinking the same things, singing the same tune for this player. So we'll hit that up and talk some Brewers coming up in the next hour. RJ Cardinal will be joining us in the 8 o'clock hour as well. We'll talk some Badgers with him. We wrap up the first hour with Morgan. Good morning, Morgan.
Hey, what's a good word, Casper?
I got nothing.
What was your first job?
Like first real job?
Yeah, not like babysitting, like first legit job.
Full service gas attendant.
Okay. Where at?
Medford.
So you were
Easy
pumping
stop.
gas. Do they still do full service at that station?
It's torn down? No.
Oh, man, you're so old. The gas station got taken down?
Yeah.
Do they have color now, or is it still in black and white?
It was a gas station that was sold guns and bait.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
So my first job was I worked at McDonald's, so I always think everybody should have to work either fast food or retail.
Not if you have food allergies.
I'm telling
That's
you.
a death sentence.
Okay, so then retail, you have to work customer service of some
yeah,
kind.
yeah.
Do you think kids should have to have an after-school job once they're old enough to work?
Once they're old enough?
Like 16-ish.
Yeah.
Mandatory.
I don't think it should be mandatory, but
you
if
think it
they
should
want
be
something, they should.
Part of curriculum, like you have the option in school to get out. We had
We had
work
like
release or whatever. I don't think it's called work
Well,
release unless you're in
say
prison.
we had I had one where it was like the first 2 hours in the morning.
Yeah.
It was mentorship or maybe something like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Work something, yeah.
Now, do you think that should be mandatory? Like, so kids are getting kind of a merging of work skills while they're still at the upper end of school, like high school?
I would say, but then I feel like some just kind of mail it in.
Yeah. Oh, pick something that they're just can sleep through?
Yeah.
Yeah, just hit snooze for a couple hours?
Yep, exactly.
So what was your second job?
My second job, I mean, I had some smaller ones like in college because I had that one for a long time through college. I would say I worked at sports camp at UW Eau Claire.
Okay.
And then I worked a little bit at Best Buy.
Now, what is the takeaway skill from each of those, your first job? Like, can you clean a mean windshield from working the full service station?
The platinum pumps.
Yeah?
Do you know what that?
Not a clue.
Okay.
Tell us.
Me and my buddy Sean always had these competitions. Somebody wants $10 of gas.
Uh-huh.
You stop the pump right at 10. See if you can nail it.
Oh, that's the pinnacle of success?
That's the gold one. The platinum was if you got even numbers on the dollar amount and the gallons.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm with you on this because I cannot, and who in their right mind can, stop the pump without evening out the numbers. Like, if it just clicks off and you take the pump out, you're a monster. Mm-hmm. Who can deal with that? Yeah. My OCD would bother me for 112 years. Mm-hmm. I have to make sure that there's, like, some kind of a number that rounds up, something that makes sense on the pump after that.
Yep.
even if it's a little over full, because I can't deal.
Yeah.
So second job takeaway. What was the best skill you learned from sports camp?
Patience with kids, but I never learned that. So
you were just supposed to take that lesson home, but it never hit.
Yeah.
All right. What about this job? Say technically this would be a career and not a job at this point in your life. What do you think is the biggest surprise about this industry before you got into it versus doing what you're doing now?
Biggest surprise?
Yep.